Good morning, St. Francis. Good morning, people of God. It is Friday, the 17th day of March, 2023. Friday of the third week of Lent. It is the 20th day of Lent. Halfway through the Lenten season on this 20th day. Also celebrating St. Patrick, who is an optional memorial, but who is very dear to many people of Irish persuasion. So happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody on this day. We have reached the halfway point in our Lenten journey, and it is Friday of the third week of Lent. Coming to you from Raleigh-Durham International Airport. As you can see, it's another very early morning because I am again on my way to San Diego. So I'll be there until Monday. So we'll see Monday's post again from San Diego, like it was, I think, at the beginning of February. So on this Friday of the third week of Lent, there can be readings for St. Patrick, but you should really stick with the readings that are for today, because unless your church is St. Patrick, and it always becomes sticky whenever you're trying to celebrate a patronal feast in Lent, because Lent kind of takes precedence in one way. But for everybody who is just celebrating Lent today, it's celebrating Friday of the third week of Lent. The first reading is from Hosea, in which God basically speaks through the prophet Hosea about wanting to reclaim and reconcile and bring back together, again, what has fallen apart. That those who have done the wrong thing, that those who have created difficulties and woes in their life because they follow the wrong things. Again, Assyria is mentioned as somebody that you cannot trust, as a country you cannot trust, and yet Israel thinks that they can trust Syria, that all these things have gotten in the way of the understanding of who and what God is and how God cares for people, can all be rectified, because God is the one who can rectify all these kinds of things. So it isn't to think that we have done so wrong or whatever it is that we can never ever be reconciled to God or to each other or to ourselves. God is the one who is first and foremost the one who is motivating and inspiring and basically initiating any kind of reconciliation. And so that is important to remember, especially within this season of Lent. It is not just about us being sorry for our sins for the sake of being sorry for our sins, because that is pointless. It is where we go from there. Again, now that God has forgiven, what becomes of our life after that? Which is something that we still need to learn, because the repetition that we do sacrament of penance with can become absurd and meaningless because we just keep coming back with the same things. It isn't about that. It is about recognizing wonder and beauty in ourselves and this world that then moves us forward to be able to see a new tomorrow, a new sense of ourselves, a new way of being and acting in this world. With this is Mark's Gospel, in which a scribe asks Jesus, what is the most important of all the commandments? And again, and Jesus basically says, the Shema, you shall love the Lord, hear, O Israel, the Lord is one, the Lord is our God, whatever. And then Jesus adds to it by saying that it's about love. It's not just about love of God, but love of neighbor and love of oneself. And the scribe commends Jesus, which is very nice of the scribe to do that, being aware of things. And the scribe himself who understands that love is at the heart, that love is at the core of any kind of love that involves God, that any kind of love that involves God's care for us. If it does not include love, if it does not come out of love, it is not about love, then it is really not of God, and it cannot be any useful to us as human beings, and should not be followed by us as human beings. So the sense in which, again, love is the anchor, love is the core for all that we are, for all that we, how we exist in this world, and who it is that God is for us and with us, a God of love, who binds together, who unites together, who picks up the pieces, who puts things back together, allows us to see ourselves in a most glorious and wonderful light. And may the Lord give you his peace.